Okay, let's do this. Let's start on time so we can end on time. Again, my goal here is to really keep this short and sweet and very focused. So 15 minutes on the one hand is not a lot of time. On the other hand, it's also, as we'll see, that's a lot of time. It's plenty of time to stimulate our some sense of neuroplasticity in our brain. So um, just a reminder, we meet every day, Monday through Friday. There are different themes each day, and today being Thursday, it's Thankfulness Thursday. And the particular twist on gratitude that I want to focus on today is focusing on, what our brain will usually label as bad experiences, like both this poor donkey and this guy in his cart they're both having a pretty bad experience now. The difference, presumably, is that we can morph or we can use these bad experiences and turn them into something positive. So, one of my favorite quotes, I think this is from Mark Twain, is that good judgment comes from experience, right? So, anyone who's really good at something on some level has amassed a certain volume of experiences that they can draw on and say, this is why I can make good decisions or make good judgments. But we forget that oftentimes a big part of the experience process involves a lot of poor judgment, right? So we have this strange paradox, which is in order to be able to make good decisions or have good judgment, we need to accrue a certain volume of experience. And by definition, that experience involves us making decisions that we might label poor or dumb or mistakes or fill in the blank. And so there is a place to get to where we view so-called bad decisions as a kind of gift, because we know that this is part of this learning process, right? So the idea is to develop a sense of gratitude for bad decisions. Now, this takes courage, it takes self-awareness, it takes presence. Like, we need to know that, oh my gosh, I just made this decision. It's not turning out the way that I thought it was going to, and it feels bad. I can feel it in my body. And yet, still having the perspective and the capacity for what we would call the cognitive reframe to be able to say, and I can see why this so-called bad experience is relevant. And if I pay attention to it, I can learn from it. And that in and of itself is something to be grateful for. So that's my sort of high level pitch here, is cultivating gratitude for so-called bad experiences. So what is gratitude? Gratitude is an embodied experience. So it's not an intellectual concept. We don't just sit there and check boxes and say, oh, okay, now I feel grateful. It's something we feel in our organism, and it accompanies the present moment awareness that we have benefited from something, that we are the recipients of something good happening. So again, there's this paradox of a bad experience happens. Well, so how do I feel grateful for this? Well, at some level, I need to be able to shift and say, I'm feeling grateful for this because I can feel in my body that I'm receiving something useful, something good, something helpful. And the real kicker here is that uh, these positive experiences typically have nothing to do with us doing anything. We are genuinely the recipients of a gift. Someone did something nice to us. Someone said something nice. The sun started shining, when I needed some warmth or some kind of comfort. In other words, these are things that just happen, and we are the recipients or the beneficiaries of this goodness happening. So gratitude is that we notice that that's happening. So today, I'd like to really emphasize this sense that in our brain, we have this tendency to really pay a lot of attention to negative experiences because they're scary, they unsettle us, we don't want them to happen again. And we typically move, when positive things happen, we kind of brush them off. And research shows that the ratio is about 1 to 5. So for every one negative experience that our brain registers, we need about five equivalently sort of emphasized positive experiences to balance that out. And gratitude is one of the mechanisms where we can reduce this ratio, this gap. So that's what I'd like to do today for the remaining 10 minutes. As always, let's start with just closing our eyes. And big part of gratitude is being present to what's happening right here, right now. And just notice right now, the fact that we can all be on this call by definition means that we are reasonably safe. We have some form of basic shelter. We have electricity and we have access to this wonderful thing called the internet, so we can share. And that right there is something to be grateful for. This situation right here, right now. And if it feels a little bit difficult or awkward to connect with a sense of gratitude right now, that's okay. It's part of the process. Let's see if you can just drop into a space of appreciating that right here, right now. We're on this call together, sitting safe together. And again, importantly, noticing where in your body does gratitude live. So get curious. Your belly, your chest, your throat, head. All of the above. Now, using your memory, I want you to bring to mind a situation that was quote unquote bad. Something didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. You experienced certain negative, so-called negative emotions in your body. And my recommendation is not to pick on a scale from 1 to 10, don't pick a 9 or a 10. Pick like a 5 or a 6. So something that didn't feel good, but also wasn't the end of the world. And so we can use our mind to drop back into this memory. Now amplify the memory. Feel it. And go back to that place and time. And notice the sensations and the emotions and the story. What happened? Who did what? In that moment, what are you telling yourself should have happened that didn't? And now see if you can layer on top of this somewhat negative experience that you're remembering. You can layer into it this idea of good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from poor judgment. Just noticing Where's the gift in this negative experience? Is there something that you're seeing more clearly about yourself or about someone else? What is it that you're learning? Where's the gift in this experience that you're remembering that will allow you to grow, become more grounded, become a better judge yourself, other people, circumstances? And appreciating that this is how the nervous system learns. It learns through repetition and experience. And if we can switch our mindset and get curious about what there is to learn, and this negative experience becomes something positive. And that positivity is gratitude. So notice where in your body that gratitude is registering. So we're using our mind to shift from a knee-jerk reaction that something was just bad. And we're using that experience to actually explore positivity. There's learning, there's opportunity, there's grace, there's self-compassion. It's all there, and it's being stimulated by this so-called bad experience. And for that, we can feel grateful. And if in this moment you're not able to connect with that gratitude, it's okay. A big part of this process is just leaning into it, just trying. And if even just some of these words or this experience that we're sharing now makes sense to you, that's progress. It's moving in the desired direction. And if it is landing for you, really take note of the subjective experience of what does it take to adopt this mindset or this lens, where in theory anything that's labeled as bad has something to teach us. There's some kind of a gift. Really just a question of our attitude towards it. And then go ahead and take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way. Then hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale. Exhale. Again, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhale, just allowing your body to breathe. Go ahead and open your eyes. Come on back to the session. Yeah, I hope that was helpful and a good reminder that when things don't go so well, just look for the gold in it. You know, we have the saying, the turning lemons into lemonade, right? So doing something, everything is there to teach us something. And I think gratitude can be a really powerful conduit for turning those negative experiences into something positive. So lots of thumbs up. Take care, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same place.